Good evening, good evening, good evening. My name is Derek. I've been the one who's been sharing the video. I would like to see some faces as people come in. Yes. Can I see some faces? Can I see some faces? Yes, thank you, Brenda.
Hey, Derek.
Asante sana. Can I see some faces? Thank you, Martin, for showing your face. We don't judge. Please show your faces so that we can know that we are together. Yes, before we begin the webinar, let's start with a quiz so that we can get the blood flowing. Yeah? So the rules of the game are the first person who answers the question on the chat gets it, and the person who gets the most answers right, gets a 30-second chance to speak before the webinar begins. So let's start. Question number 1. What is the term for the financial gain or benefit obtained from a business investment? Is it revenue, profit, loss, or capital? Yes, Noreen says it's profit. Martin says it's profit. So Noreen was first. She's got 1 correct. Second question. What does the acronym SWOT stand for in business? A, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. B, sales, workforce, operations, and yes, Martin says it's A. Noreen says it's A. Yes, Martin got it right first. It stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Question number 3. What is the term for the process of systematically gathering, analyzing, and interpreting data? Product development, market research, branding, or sales forecasting? Systematically gathering, analyzing. Yes, Noreen says it's B. Any other answer? No other answer? Yes, Martin says it's B. The correct answer is B. So Noreen has got 2 correct. Which financial statement provides a snapshot of a company's financial position at a specific point in time? Is it income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement, or statement of Lawrence? Lawrence says it's B. Gladys says it's B. The answer is balance sheet. That's correct. Now, final question. What is the term for a legal document that grants exclusive rights to an invention or process? Is it a trademark? Is it a patent? Is it a copyright? Or is it a license? Is it a trademark? Is it a patent? Is it a copyright? Or is it a license? Lawrence says A. Martin says B. Martin says B. And Noreen says B. So Martin got it right first. So now we are in a tie between Noreen and Martin. So how do we break that tie? One last question. The first, how do we break that tie? Noreen says she has given it to Martin, which is very strange, which I find very strange as a very competitive person. I find very, very strange. And I don't know whether it's right to give it to someone, but Martin, the floor is yours. Please introduce you. You have 30 seconds. Introduce yourself, what you do, who you are. Yes. Martin? Martin, you're on mute.
Oh.
You're muted.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to unmute after switching on my video.
Yes.
Well, thanks, Noreen. I'll take this opportunity. My name is Martin Onea. I am an entrepreneur and a sales professional. I've been in sales for the last 20 years. And my last role was with an organization that deals with renewable energy. So I transitioned to become an entrepreneur in my own organization that deals with the same product. Currently, I operate from the coastal region, a company that I founded called Tirewalt Agencies. So you guys can look us up. Very new on LinkedIn, very new on the web, but reaching out to our customers, and I'm building a sales team that would help us grow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Martin, for the introduction. And you're in the right place because we are talking about sales teams. And I think I'll give this chance to Juliana to go on with to go on to the next stage of the webinar as more people join. Juliana, over to you.
Hi everyone. How are you? Karibuni sana to the webinar. Who won the quiz? Sorry, I joined in a bit late. I was on the road. Derek, who won the quiz? Derek, you've disappeared.
It's Martin.
Oh,
it's Martin who has just spoken. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Karibu sana, Brenda. We are so far 13. As we get more people in, can we get to know a few people? Who are the repeaters? Who is coming here for the second time? Anyone coming here for the second time, please, can you just unmute and say something to us? Anyone coming in for the second time, or third or fourth?
Second time to this.
So far, Larry, I didn't hear you.
You're saying second time for 20X webinar?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think it's the second or third time.
Oh, nice. You're one of our own. Karibu sana. We're very glad to have you. Keep coming. Anybody else is coming for a second time or third? Thank you, Larry. Anybody else?
Hello.
Yes, Gladys.
Oh, I'm Gladys from Nakuru. Insurance with Britain.
Lovely.
Yes.
Welcome. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Anybody else coming back for more?
Yeah,
Joseph
so
Alake. Sorry, go on.
Anthony here from Ghana.
Oh, you're coming in for the first or second time?
First.
Oh, welcome. We love Ghanaians. You're like us. Except, you're better than we are, but we're very glad. Can we get some of your goodness? Welcome to our webinar. We're very excited to have you. We're looking forward to having you every other time. What do you do, Anthony?
I'm actually leading a sales team.
Oh, amazing. You're in the right place. That is one of the things we do best, and most importantly, we love to do with our partners. Welcome. I was about to say karibu. I don't know if you know that word in Swahili. Kenyans, we have tabia mbaya using Swahili in between English. Welcome, and we're very glad to have you.
Thank you. I mean, Ghanaians do that a lot too. I mean, we mix a lot of our local dialect with English.
That is nice to know. You see, I said you're like us. That's very, very nice. Yeah. All right. Anybody else coming in for the second time? Anybody wants to say something? Eunice, tell me when you're ready so that I don't take up your time.
No, I've been ready, but I would have loved to hear what, he's joined all the way from Ghana. Maybe we should hear what does he do and what good news does he have from Ghana? I mean, we love visitors.
Anthony, back to
was
you.
it Anthony?
Please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just came back from work. Actually, I've not even changed myself. My kids are all over me. You know, I just decided to run some content. So yeah.
Derek, please mute Mary. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. I think for the most part of my career, I've been in the startup space across Africa. So I've consulted for a few African-focused startups, even though they are based out of Africa, and I've also done a number of African startups, purely in the sales arena, SaaS sales specifically. So yeah, I think that's what I've been doing for the most part of my career, doing sales, always learning, trying to learn new stuff, because of course, what works in Ghana might not necessarily work in Kenya, even though, the end goal is the same. So it will be interesting to know different market dynamics from experts, right?
Sure.
Awesome. Nice to hear from you, Anthony. I think we also had someone, apart from Gladys, who introduced herself. There was someone who is coming for the third time, but he didn't say what he does. It's your opportunity, to let people know what you do. And what was his name? Forgotten the name.
Was it Martin?
No, Martin already introduced
It was me, Larry.
himself. Oh, sorry.
Yes. Yeah, when you're given the opportunity, grab it.
Yes, that sounds like Eunice. My name is Larry Mosa. I run a real estate firm called Canaan Properties. We help investors earn optimal rents. Investors in real estate, we help them earn optimal rents or enjoy good residency by employing dynamic systems in what we do to run their properties with a strong emphasis on ethical practices.
Larry,
Yes, I'd love to hear what you think of that value proposition.
Yes.
I'm actually, he sounds like he has a very good product, but Larry, you've used a lot of jargon. We are laymen. What exactly do you sell?
Okay. You want it Mwananchi style?
These are Mwananchis. We're here as Mwananchi. We want to hear, what, because it sounds like it's a very good product. What exactly is it?
We're in the real estate sector, and we manage property, and we help the people who invest in real estate run those properties and help them earn optimal rents. That's what we do.
So you help people earn optimal rent. Hiyo tutaongea nyuma ya tent. We'll talk behind the tent, that one. I see there are those other people who are not able to introduce themselves. Please type in the chat, introduce yourself. You can mention how many times. I can see Caroline Group here, who is here for the first time. Welcome. So please type in the chat. Who are you? What do you sell? And where are you joining us from? We just realized that we have Ghanaians in the house. Please just let us know which part of the world are you joining us from, or which part of Kenya are you joining us from? Please go ahead and introduce yourself. So today is a very, I would say a topic that is very close to my heart. Thank you, Sakina, for switching on your video. Welcome. And maybe I should give you an opportunity to introduce your product because of switching on your video.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Sakina Wanjiko, Executive Manager in an Iranian tile company. We import tiles from Iran and we also sell granite, faucets, toilets, and wall-to-wall carpet.
Where can people find you?
I'm located at Syokimau, near SGR.
Sorry?
Located along Syokimau, near SGR.
Awesome, awesome. So if you want the Iranian tiles, there you go. Sakina Wanjiko got your back.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I was saying that today's topic is very close to my heart, you know, building sales teams, because for many years, I would say for over 15 years, I've been building sales teams.
Yes, yes.
And I want us to have this conversation on how do you know, attract the right salespeople? How do you grow them? How do you keep them producing? And that's the conversation that we have today. And I want to ask a question. How many of you have a team? When I say a team, you're not the only person in the company. You have a team that work with you. You can type in the chat how many you have. Please type in the chat how many people work in your organization or in your company. Please put it in the chat, because we just want to know, you know, how are we doing? Who do we have in the room? So that I don't talk about teams and you don't have a team. So and then as you type the number of teams that you have, please also put your expectation for today. What are you expecting? Oh, Rose, 7. Oh my goodness, that's a huge team. Corrine, how do you pronounce that name? Is it Corrine? I hope I'm pronouncing it well.
No, it's Corinne. Corinne.
Corinne, awesome. Yeah, 58 is a huge team. Yeah, what are you expecting? Please put in the chat. Carol, a team of 25 salespeople. Sakina, 3. I think we got the right team. We got the right people in the room. So keep typing, chat, and also put in your question. Let's have this conversation on Teams. So I hope you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Yeah, so our topic today was again inspired by some of you who say that you would like us to discuss sales teams. How do you build a team? Yes, you could be a very good salesperson, but how? How do you multiply yourself? How do you replicate yourself in other people? I will begin. We've already done introduction. I want to start. So by the end of the session, I would love you to understand what motivates salespeople. You will also understand what to consider when hiring salespeople, and then why should they stay in your organization. So it's going to be brief. We like to keep it short and sweet. Our goal is that we end by 8 p.m. So do not be in a hurry. It's just a few minutes, and then we let you go and have your dinner. So I want to introduce 20X Entrepreneur, because I know we have new people who are joining us for the first time. And 20X Entrepreneur is a sales growth accelerator consultancy company. So we focus on growth. We focus on growing your business. How do you grow your business in terms of revenue? Because we know there are others who will help you deal with the profitability. So our focus is on revenue. You know, let's grow the revenue. Of course, let's fix the profitability when the money, you know, on the go. So what we do is that we come in, you see, to grow revenue, there are many things. It's not one thing that helps you grow your company. Now, the word 20x means 20 times, because it's an aspiration that we have that we will be able to help you when you join 20x community. We'll be able to help you grow 20 times in 3 to 5 years. And this is heavily borrowed from our own personal experience. To be specific, my own personal experience as a sales leader, how I've been able, initially to grow my income 20 times within in less than 3 years, and later being able to grow a business from over hundreds of millions losses to profitability. So this experience is what makes me believe that we can be able, if I can do it, then we can be able to help you do the same. So what we do is that we do sales consultancy. In the consultancy, basically there's something we call sales appraisal. We look at your business in all departments, in all aspects of your business. Are you positioned to support sales? Why is that? Because sales is not a salespeople's job. Sales is the whole organization's job. The finance person need to be able to enable sales to happen faster or to shorten the period it takes. The ICT person, the HR person, the marketing person, are all these people aligned to help the business grow their sales? So that is what we do. We call it an appraisal. Are you positioned for growth? And if not, then we say we will give you recommendations. Some of the recommendations that may come out is that you may need a training. Now, this is where we come in and train the whole organization on how do they enable sales. Now, in this training, we train the salespeople. The salespeople are said to be the front line. These are the soldiers that actually go to war. But in every war, there are the soldiers who go to war, but there are all those people who support the soldiers in the war. So we train the salespeople. We also train the support people to be able to support the soldiers who are in the field. We also do coaching because training is very good. However, people go through a cycle. There's a cycle we call the growth cycle, whereby after training, people are very excited and inspired, and they actually sell initially, but then they reach a point where that is the point what we call uninformed optimism. So they're very optimistic, they're very happy, they're very inspired, and they actually bring results for a short period. That explains why you keep training and training, and you don't get sustainable results, because it's normal, it is human that after you go through training, you are very highly optimistic. And then later in a week or two, people get to what we call informed pessimism. This is where they start feeling, oh my God, I thought I'd actually go to the moon. I thought I could actually achieve my goals in a week, but it is not happening. So they feel disappointed with themselves because after all that training, they don't seem to get the results. And so what we do, what coaching does is to support them through that situation, because if they don't get support, they go to the valley of despair. And this is where you start seeing your people are very demotivated. They actually are looking out for other jobs. They even start side hustles because this job is no longer paying. This is when they open their eyes and like, oh my God, the job is not paying anymore. So what we do with coaching is to support them through that cycle so that they get to a place whereby they're informed optimistic. So informed optimism means that they now understand what it takes to get the results. They are very, and they're committed to getting the results. And then after that, they will get to success and fulfillment. Other recommendations could be, you may need to recruit new salespeople. Now, what we have seen with our customers is that, when we have done all this, they're like, okay, why don't you then recruit for us salespeople? And why they ask this is because recruiting salespeople require not just a HR skill. There's more to it. Why? Because salespeople are like you. You are a business owner. Salespeople think like you. They see opportunities. They are very fast. They're very creative. They're not laid back. So the way you get that kind of a person and how you take them through the process is different. So we do the recruitment on behalf, and how we do our recruitment is we will source the person. We send them to you for about 2 weeks so that you train them on the product. They go to the field, they experience, they see whether they want to work with you, because they also need to want to work with you, as you also see whether you want to work with them. And then after that, you send them back to us for 3 weeks. And this is where we take them through training and coaching. Now, this is not product training, but what are the disciplines that they need to acquire to become? Now, in that process, those are 5 weeks. In 5 weeks, you should be able to let go those who cannot perform or keep those who will perform. So this saves you money and time, because it reduces, what we have seen is that many business owners, you wait until after 5 months or 6 months, after you've been paying retainer, is when you discover, well, this one will never give me results. And then we also have events, networking events. We have an event called Sales Fest Africa. It happens once a year, although this year is very different because we already had a Sales Fest on 12th of January. This happens every January, every year. But people demanded that they want to network outside the country, and we chose Dubai as the destination. So on 29th of October, we're taking business owners and salespeople to go and celebrate sales in Dubai as they tell themselves, Asante, kujiambia Asante. Ni vizuri, after working so hard, you need to say thank you to yourself. So, and then we will also be networking with other Kenyans in Dubai. And those who are exporting, those who want to export products, again, we've organized that they will get people to match make, to actually buy their products in Dubai. All right, so that's so much about 20X. I've said that our aspiration is that you grow 20 times, and you can see we put structures and structures in place that can support you to grow 20 times. So let's go right into it. Is there a question? Let me see what is in the chat before I start talking about salespeople and what motivates them. All right, I can see we have people with big teams here. All right. Also, I'm expecting to know how to learn to build a strong team. Okay, so let's just dive into it. If you have a question, please put it in the chat. We are going to answer it after this. As I said, we want to keep it short and sweet so that we don't keep you so long, and so that you keep coming every Thursday, because we meet here every Thursday, 7 p.m. So you can start inviting your friends, your colleagues, so that you can join this train, this Mugithi. So what motivates salespeople? What is this that makes salespeople work, and they keep working? And it is that simple, put it. It's their own goals. You see, and you as a business owner or a team leader, you need to understand when people come to work with you, they're not coming because they want to help you. Neither are you getting them because you want to help them. You're looking for them because you want something that is in them. You want them to help you grow your business, but they're not coming to help you. That is your goal. They are coming because they have dreams, they have goals, they have aspirations, they have plans. They want to achieve their own goals. And so when they come, if you're not careful to align their personal goals and your goals, then you guys are not going to work together, because your goals and their goals must match. So what we help you do in your business is to help your salespeople, be very clear on what their goals are. And then look at your goals as an organization and connect your goals and their goals, and you have a strong team, because you're now working as a team. One thing you need to know is that, as I said, salespeople are like you. They are different. They're not just looking for a job. They want growth. So if you want your organization to grow 20 times, then you must get a person who is also interested in growing 20 times. That way, then you align, and that will keep them motivated. Now, there's no amount. Of course, you can try and give them giveaways and all that. Those are good, and they work magic. But if people are not internally motivated within themselves, if they can't see why they have to work with you, then they are going to leave you. Okay? So, I know you're wondering, so how do I identify these salespeople? I haven't put a CV here. This is my way of hiring salespeople. I have, I've built teams. Some of them are here. I don't know whether they are here, but over time, all the 15 years, I've been building teams. And where I was working, my work was to identify salespeople, recruit them, onboard them, train them, coach them, and make them successful. And one thing I am happy to report is that I would say 80% of the people that I recruited are now managers as we speak in different companies. So who should you hire? I know when we are looking for salespeople, we look for the talkative people. Over time, I've realized that people who will just keep talking and not taking time, even as you're having conversation, they're so busy talking and telling you. Most of the time, they do not give you results. Because what they do is that they spend more time talking, even to customers, instead of listening. Because we all know that sales is not talking. Sales is listening, hearing what the customer is asking for, hearing the pains, the aspirations, the hopes, the disappointments of a customer, so that then you're able to provide a solution. So when you're looking to hire, look for great listeners, and you can pick them out even during the interview time. Now, silence does not mean listening, because there are people who could be quiet, but they don't listen. So not always that because you're cool, calm, that you're a listener. So you need to, and a good listener ask questions. They ask questions. And I borrowed this from the Bible, and I believe even in the Quran, there is there must be something like that says that my people do not receive because they do not ask. And when they ask wrongly, they ask amiss, and therefore they don't receive. So look for a great listener. Number two, you need to look for a disciplined person. Sales is very high energy and requires a lot of discipline and focus. You don't want someone who is all over trying to do so many things at the same time. You want someone who can focus. Why? Because it takes a lot of discipline for a salesperson to get the results done. And it's not a quick fix. So you're looking for discipline. And number three, you're looking for coachability or teachability. Someone who is not know-it-all. Someone who, I say that, who has the humility to accept that they don't know everything. And humility is not playing nice. Because people mistake humility and what is it called? Being naive or being, just not having a drive. That's not humility. Humility to accept that I don't know everything, and the curiosity to find out what it is that you don't know and what it is that you need to know. So that is what you're looking for when you're looking for a salesperson. They will come with very beautiful CVs. Others will come and tell you stories. Oh my God, how they achieved. Yeah. And for me, this is what I look for. The CV is good, but when you're listening, listen to seek this. So why should they stay in your organization? How do you keep them? Say you've got this best salesperson and they're actually very motivated, they're very disciplined, they're trainable, they're good listeners. So they have come. How do you keep them? What keeps them? You know, why should they stay in your organization? Why should they stay? What I've seen is that when we send salespeople to businesses, what happens is that they're thrown into, because you know that you've hired a salesperson, the assumption that they know what to do. And most of the time, because you hire people, mostly you have poached them from other organizations. So you think because they were doing very well in the previous organization, you imagine that they will do very well in your organization. Unfortunately, you may get the best salesperson and they come and not perform within your organization. Why? Because of the environment that you create. Because when they come in, you throw them, because they have been doing well, you assume they know. One thing that you need to understand is that even the best salespeople still need leadership. They still need to be led. They still need guidance. So can you create a clear, agreed KPIs? And you're not focusing on everything. Which one will give the highest impact in the business? So this is something that you need to agree on. It's not, when you set those targets for them, what is it, why did you come up with that target? Be humble enough, how do I put it? Just come down to their level and explain, how did you come up with this target? Our way, or how we do it, is we like to work with their personal goals. And then normally, when salespeople set their own personal goals, those goals are normally higher than your KPIs. And it is easier to keep people accountable on what they say, or on what they are committed to do, or what they are looking to do, rather than what you have told them to do. So have clear, agreed KPIs. And these KPIs need to be measured, Our way, we measure them daily. So what we do is that to make sure that these KPIs, we break them down to the daily actions or daily activities that are measurable. You see, they may not close a sale every day, but what is this that they can do daily? And you can measure it. So you look at the highest priority activity that they have control over. You may not have control over closing of the business, but you have control of how many leads did you generate. Okay? Then motivate, train, and coach. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road. If you yourself are not able to train and coach them, then you lose them. So even the best still need a coach. So you need to motivate them. And motivation is, yes, there's a money motivation, there's incentives. I hear some businesses tell me that, you buy them lunch and all, but the greatest, the best motivation is when it is coming from within, understanding their in-depth needs and desires, hopes. We call them DHDs, dreams, hopes, and desires. And then maintain competitiveness. Salespeople are very competitive. The leaders board, where you keep scores, whether every week, everybody can see what other people did. That competitiveness keeps them staying, all right? Remember to lead from the front. You're the #1 salesperson in your business. If you're the manager, you cannot be a manager. I remember one of my bosses once told us that, or rather asked my colleague, because my colleague was not doing her personal sales. And so she was explaining that she did not sell because she was supervising the team. And I remember my boss asking her, So are you trying to tell us like you're a Maasai boy who goes to the field to graze, and then he just sits under the tree and watch the cows graze? So you don't want to be that kind of a leader who goes to the field and you sit and watch. You want to go to the field with them, you know, and demonstrate to them that you also understand sales, so that you're not just demanding results from them, but you can show, despite all what I'm doing with you, I still can deliver my results. Remember, what is not measured is not done. So if you don't measure those activities, those daily activities, then it will not be done. I'm also a believer of fire quickly. You know, as I explained to you, one of the things that we help businesses do is within 5 weeks to be able to fire those who are not going to be productive. But we don't just wake up and fire. There are measures that we put in place, structures, you know, like milestones, that this person week 1, this is where we expect them to be. We may not expect them to close a sale, even in 5 weeks, even in 3 months, but they need to demonstrate that they have the discipline, they have the belief system that will make them, when they start closing, close every day and consistent. I mostly hire people from, you know, who are very inexperienced, and they grow from lack of experience to being, you know, super salespeople. Our sales manager at BSmart actually started as an intern. Clueless. She's actually a HR. She was trained in HR in college, and immediately after college she came, and she was so clueless. And today she's a sales manager. Why? Because there are those disciplines, and that's what we've documented to be able to help you be able to know how, at what point do I, okay? Train and coach for results. Training and coaching is not negotiable. You must do it. All right. So I want to answer some questions because I know, yes, it's easier said than done. Let's just answer a few questions and then I tell you what next. Any questions? Juliana, are there questions in the chat?
Generally comments.
Okay, go on.
Generally comments. If I see any question, I'll bring it to your attention.
All right, okay. All right, so we know that it's easier said than done. I know I've said very beautiful things and you're feeling like, wow, yeah, I can actually build a team. We know that it's easier said than done. And the challenge is there's always a gap between what people know and what they do. Because if we all did what we knew, oh my goodness, this world would be a beautiful place to live in. Can you imagine if you only implemented half of what you know, what would happen? Let me just see. Let me ask that question to the team. Let me see, who is there? I want to ask Michael Kimani, just imagine if you only executed 50% of what you know, what would happen in your business?
Well, so much can be done, but equally you also need to increase or know maybe what you don't know, and you inquire what you also need to know. You cannot only rely with what you know. It's also important to get to know more than what you know.
Yes, but what if, let's assume you don't get to know anything more. You only implement what you know. What would happen?
You remove a lot of masses, because at least if you do 50% of what you know, you'll be somewhere. Actually, most of the people, they are not even half of that.
Exactly. Jerry Kihara. Thank you, Michael, for the input. Jerry, you can put it in the chat. Yes, go on. Just imagine if you only executed 50% of what you know that you should do.
I think we will all, if you executed 50% of what you knew,
you'll definitely be ahead. And we'll be on top of things, yeah. And I think you'd see some growth, especially we as salespeople, if we executed 50% of what we know.
So what Jerry is saying is that we don't have it's not a problem of not knowing. It's an execution problem, right?
It's an execution problem because at times we know, at times we know what we are supposed to be doing, but we don't. You might know, but not execute. Yeah.
Yes, that's the truth. So basically, the challenge is not the knowing. And that's why I say, of course, many people go for training because they think there's something that you don't know. One of my team, my colleagues told me the other day that he's just discovering that there are no secrets, that everything is laid out in the open. But we know them, we know these things. So there's no secret, they are laid bare. People talk about, if today you want to know how to close a deal, just go to AI and ask AI, how can I close a deal? And you will get 5 ways of closing the deal. Won't you do that? If you want to know how do I deal with a difficult customer, you go to AI or even Google and say, how do I deal with a difficult customer? You'll get 7 ways of dealing with a difficult customer. So you actually have access to information. But we all know, we are human, that what we know and what we do is a gap. It's always the gap of what you know and what you don't do. And this is the gap that the 20X entrepreneur comes in to help you bridge, the execution gap. And those who have gone through our programs will tell you that sometimes they get very uncomfortable. It gets very uncomfortable. Was it on Monday or Tuesday, when we were meeting the class that is going on for the 12 weeks, the 12-week sales accelerator. And one of the participants came and said, you know what, I want to give up. And, genuinely, I want to give up. Why? Because I don't have time. So many things, so many reasons to do that. And why we come in is because you will feel like giving up. I tell people that I like hiking. And once when I was in Mount Kenya, it became very hard for me because I was not able to eat because of altitude. I realized that for me, when altitude hits, I'm not able to eat. So I'm going to summit and I've eaten nothing. And it became so difficult. And one of my hike mates actually fainted on the way. And, the coach, or I call him the coach, but he's a guide. The guide just knew what to do at that moment, just give her oxygen. And then she got oxygen and started walking. For me, it hit me when I was coming down. I was just dizzy. And the coach knows when to give oxygen because all the other tablets he tried to give did not work. And I got oxygen and I started moving. That is what is called coaching. So the coaching helps you actually execute what you know. And that's why our programs at 20X are geared towards making you do those, just helping you cross that bridge when it is so difficult. All right. So if it is a team you've hired, they have all gone, because sometimes you hire 5 of them and they all go. And then you're like, oh my God, it's been 4 months. I've invested, I have trained, I've paid people, and now they have all gone. Okay. So what we do is to just walk with you the journey. So what next for you? We have different programs for you as the business owner or a business leader, and others for your sales team. The first program that we have is the 21 Days Sales Challenge. Why 21 days? Because they say, the psychologists, they say it takes 21 days to start changing a habit. In 21 days, we want to transform that salesperson from who they are to adopting the habits and the behaviors and the disciplines that are required to become a super salesperson. So on week 1, of course, we focus on the customer. And the most important is not the training that we do every week. The most important are the disciplines that we cultivate every day during the 21 days. Of course, we train them and coach them. But the magic is in the journey that we take them through. So that's the 21 days. The other one is a 12-week sales accelerator. The 12 weeks, basically, we meet you every week for 12 weeks. Now, we call those meetings weekly accountability sessions. This is where because we at 20X, we have our integrity pledge that when you make a commitment, you honor it. When you make a promise, you keep it. And when you set a goal, you achieve it. So we structure our programs to meet that integrity pledge. And of course, on day 1, it's, we take you through that so that you understand what it means, because you'll be accountable. So we have weekly accountability sessions. We have daily trainings and, still accountability on a daily basis. And our aim in the 12 weeks is that you at least double your sales. Now, what we have seen is that people have done 17 times, others 10 times, others 5 times, others 2 times within the 12 weeks. So what we do with the 12 weeks is to compress time, because we know that 12 weeks is long enough to get some results, and it is also short enough to make you focus, because focus is key in that. So that's for the salespeople. For the business owners, we have what we call the Sales Leaders Mastermind. This is where we take you through a journey of, creating. When I started my business, I got a consultant to do for me a business strategy, or rather a business plan. I paid 300,000 shillings. And what I got was a copy of another business plan. Yet we had spent so many hours together, me sharing my vision and what I want to see, but they just went and copied another business plan. And so what we do not make the business plan for you, but we help you. We work with you as you build this business plan. Why? Because when you do it, then you will execute it. And it is clear every moment of it. It is very simple. We make it simple and very executable. Then we also help you create a system that produces sales daily and consistently. So in this system, this is where we help you create a funnel. How do customers get to know you? How do they get to like you? And how do they get to trust? And then we look at how do you recruit? How do you train? How do you coach to enable the team sell consistently? So that's the offer, the programs that we have. And now I can answer questions. I still have 8 minutes, actually 7 minutes, and then I'll let you. I can answer a few questions. So please reach out to us, Derek, Faith. You can put your contacts there so that people can reach out to you, or even myself. Reach out to us if you see in any way that we can help you, that we can help you grow your business 20 times. It's our desire, it's our hope, is our aspiration that when you see people grow business, can you imagine? And why we focus on small and medium businesses is because once you transform that, it's easy to transform that kind of a business to grow 20 times, because there's just a few things that we need to do, like rockets, yeah. And majority of the small and medium enterprises, you are there at the runway. So you're on the runway, you're still running, on the runway. We want to help you take off and grow 20 times. Sakina Wanjiko says, look for me, we talk more. Derek, please. All right. Anything else? Any question? Any comments? Any complaints? Any, So I'm asking for a comment, a complaint, or a compliment. So you can type it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and give that. We still have some 6 minutes.
Hi again.
Hi, Sakina.
I'm very happy with the meeting. And I'll look for you, or you look for me. Actually, I want you to look for me because I'm not sure if I have your number.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think we can do some kidogo biashara, both of us. We see how things. Thank you so much for the meeting. It was worth being here.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Sakina. We will definitely look for you. Any other comment, compliment, or complaint?
There are
Even
two questions
complaint.
on the chat.
Yes, yes.
There are 2 questions on the chat.
Okay.
From Martin and Carol.
Okay, Martin, what tools do you have to complement the sales team training to ensure consistent growth? You want us to give you the tools now? Yes, we'll definitely give you tools. Once they enroll into those programs, we also give them tools to be able to help them keep growing consistently and daily. Yes, so yes, we have tools. I don't know, I mean, there are quite a number of them, so I can't give them one name. Carol says, share with me the charges for sales leaders training. All right, yes, we'll definitely do that. Rose says, was worth attending. Thank you so much, Rose. Please keep the comments, the complaints, the compliments coming, or the inquiries coming. And remember, every Thursday, 7 p.m., we are here waiting for you. And believe it or not, even if you don't show up, we will show up. We will be here every Thursday, 7 p.m. consistently, every week, consistently. Why? Because that's what we teach. And we will help you and your sales team to do the same. You know, when you decide to do something, you do it consistent, because there's gold in the consistent.
Eunice, there's a good question from Larry. There's a good question.
I'm not able to see. Are you able to read it?
Yes. What's the difference between 12-week training and sales leaders training? Sales leaders mastermind.
Yeah, the 12 weeks accelerator, it is both for entrepreneurs who want to learn how to sell, or for salespeople. Sorry, not to learn how to sell, to actually do the selling. Now, the leaders mastermind is specifically for sales managers and business owners. It is not for salespeople. And what we do with the leaders is to give them tools to be able to manage their team. So it is purely for leaders, and it takes 4 weeks. The mastermind is 4 weeks, and another extra 3 months of monthly accountability sessions. Now, the 12 weeks is every week, you know, they check in with their performance, telling us why they're not performing, what is the challenge, and we help them unlock those challenges. All right. I hope I've answered you. Was it Martin or Larry? One of you. Any other question? I'm not able to see all the comments, Juliana, and
the others are just compliments. Thank you for creating time to mentor us. Martin says he'll engage further. He's asking for an intro email. I've said that we're going to send it to him. A great eye-opener from Edwin Thuo. Thank you very much, Edwin. Agri Rabari, thank you very much. We surely attend next week. Somebody asked if the link is the same.
Yes, it is.
So yes, all of you just save that link, put it on your reminder. Every Thursday be here. We shall be here, as Eunice says. Martin Onea says, thanks for this enlightening session. Worth listening to from Martin Mugambe. See you next week. Elizabeth says she'd like to know about marketing of education services. Do we have such?
Oh, yes. Education services here, you mean school? or college? What do you mean?
Elizabeth, you can unmute and just converse.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Yes, I mean the marketing of educational services such as school, colleges, and so on, educational institutions.
Yes, we actually do that. Let me see, which I think we have one of the students, but how she runs a bakery, I mean, a baking college. Yes, we do that. We train on, selling is selling, and it's a science. I like saying it is a science. So what we teach is the science of selling. Now, the products vary. The products may vary, but the science is the same. So yes, whether it's education services, we actually have a client who is actually a healthcare service. This is a hospital. We have a hospital. We have FMCGs. We have real estate clients. We have, I'm forgetting, the list is endless, but across industries. There's a time we had pharmacists, Juliana, if I remember. Yes, we had one class that we had like 6 pharmacists in that class. Yeah, so yes, even the education services we do.
Okay,
All
thank you.
right. Yes.
Now I've said thank you, so I will follow up on that.
Yes.
Hope I can learn more.
Awesome. Thank you, Elizabeth. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 8:01, and I would like to let you go so that you have your dinner. Remember, we're here every Thursday, so we don't have to keep you long, so that we don't want you to stay here long and then you'll be saying that these meetings are too long. All right? So with that, have a wonderful night. Enjoy your evening. And
Good
next
evening.
time, invite a friend, invite someone.